Our pick. Go ahead, shoot.
Just the rationale. Why did you pick him?
Yeah.
He had a lot of needs, and what made you guys focus in on him?
Yeah, we know we do well when we have consensus in our group, and that's from scouting, coaching, R&D, and we really had that with Ricky. He's a guy who, throughout the process, we liked early, and it kept getting stronger, and does a lot of things well. Does a lot of the things we covet at that position well, and we believe we have a real strong group there, and we wanted to add another player. And Ricky is a very versatile player, and also has some punt return value that we think will come in handy. So just felt like it was the right guy at the right time, and really excited about it.
How does he fit your system?
He just plays the position real well. I mean, whether he was outside, inside, either receiver, all three of the positions. He can separate down the field. He can separate underneath. Got really good hands. Extremely smart. Very well developed. You can tell he's, I guess I'd call it a gym rat or something, because you can just see he's worked on his routes, put in a lot of hours, because you can see it on tape. And there's really nothing he can't do. And he can fit in whatever role based off the other guys.
It was a catch he had in college, I think, against Charlotte, where I guess it showed his contact courage, I guess, as you like to say. Is that a trait that kind of won you guys over to?
Yeah, he's one of the, there's not one play that you see him turn something down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to go over the middle and do everything he can to catch that ball and not worry about anything else. When he's on the sidelines, he's not taking the easy way out. He makes guys tackle him. He's not looking for a place to fall. And when he doesn't have the ball, he plays just as hard when the ball's not in his hands.
Kyle and I mean, there's the highlight ones, but then there's just subtle in his day-to-day, game-to-game play. Kyle and I were watching a play today where he broke a tackle, he gets through and just gets popped, and he's equipped to take those hits, almost like he likes the physicality of the game. He enjoys run blocking, our kind of style.
There were a number of reports today on potential trades for Deebo Samuel or Brandon Aiyuk. Are those true? Is that still in play? And does this pick indicate anything?
Yeah, why is always us? But I don't know. I know that we're continuing to have positive talks with BA, and we are really efforting to get something done with him, and we're excited about continuing down that path. And Brandon being a part of this team, Deebo is a part of this team and a big part of this team. So. Like I said, we feel great about that group, and we feel like we just made it better with another really good addition to it who complements the group real well.
Would you close the door on a trade?
Never close the door on a trade. I mean, we'll always listen, and we have, but we like our group as it stands.
Well, is it at least logical to think that it would have taken something in the first round for you guys to consider trading Brandon, and now that the first round is over, that's unlikely that you would move him?
Yeah, I thought it was unlikely going into it, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. You listen to everything. Everything's about trying to improve our team as much as we can for 2024 without with jeopardizing 25 as much as possible. So that's everything you look into, and whenever that opportunity comes, whichever way, if you can improve your team, you do that. Sometimes it's hard to picture proving your team, though, without them.
The run on receivers getting big money, A.J. Brown,
Yeah.
Amon from Detroit. Is that concerning when it comes to bringing in Aiyuk, or was that something you just expected from the market?
Yeah, you expected that the market would take a bit of a leap this year. I think it surely has, and I think it tells you it's a premium position in our league right now. The ball's being thrown a lot, and we're asking these players to do a lot. So it's the reality, and you deal with that.
Pearsall, one of your 22 first-round grades. Do you feel he you brought it up, and do you feel he makes your team better now?
Yeah, we had a high grade on Ricky, and we're for all the reasons we've told you, we're really excited to have Ricky part of our team.
Kyle, we hear the word comp thrown out pretty much on draft scenarios. Can you give us a comp on Ricky Pearsall? Who does he remind you of?
That's tough. God, I don't know if I want to do that, man. It reminds me of myself, just a lot faster, a lot better, much better hands, can jump, can just do everything much better. I don't want to be held to that forever. I'll let him do that.
Do you see him as an outside receiver in the NFL, Kyle, or do you see him more as a slot?
I see him as both. I mean, he's got the 40 to still get on top of people on the outside, where that starts a little bit. I mean, you just got to have a threat of that to scare guys in a go route, and if you can do that, you can separate on the other routes. But he can get out of his break very well. He's not huge, but he's still got a good body to where he can handle it on any side or at any length of a corner. So, I mean, all of our receivers who play outside, they also play inside. So we kind of want a guy who can do it all.
Yeah, part of the process, I'm sorry, Matt. Part of the process, when we go through, we ask our guys, coaches, scouts to build these highlight tapes. And, we usually ask the coaches, give us their best stuff and then show some plays that have some of their perceived weaknesses. The one really impressive thing with Ricky, his highlight tape just kept going and going and going. And you saw it when you watch games. But Kyle and I were sitting there, and we're like 85 plays deep, and consistently really, really solid plays, and some wow plays as well. So I think he's an extremely consistent player who makes a lot of plays at a high rate, and does so week in, week out. So that's exciting to add a player of that quality to our group. Go ahead, Matt. So.
Therapy visit, and did Brandon have any?
Ricky did not come in on it. No.
He was teammates with Brandon at Arizona State.
Yeah.
Did you guys get his feedback at all?
Brandon just texted.
We got on the way in.
Yeah. Fire pick.
Fire pick. No lie.
Can't lie. So Herm, I talked to Herm though a lot. Herm and I are close, and I remember when he was a true freshman at A-State, he started telling me about this kid and how excited he was about him, and spent his time there, and then moved over to Florida, and even upped his game against as good a competition as you'll find in college football.
You always value what receivers do when the ball isn't in their hands. What stood out about Ricky when he didn't have the ball in his hands?
That he makes guys tackle him. You watch so many guys who they get what's there and they go down. And sometimes people are cool with that and stuff, and sometimes a guy just isn't like that. And you kind of want to not have to ask guys to fight for every yard. You like to, you'd rather have to pull them back. And when you watch a guy who just fights for everything he can do and makes people tackle him, regardless of your make-miss ability, just with your hands and how good they are, so you can transition and get upfield. With fearlessness, you can be good after the catch. But then you watch some of his cutting ability, which makes him a punt return option and things like that. And knowing that he does have the ability to make some guys miss and create edges with his hands, with the kind of his mindset of being fearless, you feel he's going to be good after the catch. And we got some pretty good guys to be in that group in that way.
Sorry. If teams didn't know you were open for business at receiver, they definitely do now. Are you going to get calls through the night? Do you plan on this going through to when teams are on the clock tomorrow? Is this kind of the reality now for you guys?
I can't predict what we're going to get. I'm going to go home, go to bed, wake up, come in here tomorrow, and fire it up, and try to add some more really quality players to our team. This is always an exciting process, and looking forward to it.
Did you think you were close on any trades at all to move up or down?
No. Yeah.
Correctly, 2 years ago, when you got through the first round with Debo, you said nothing came close. I think you said we're not going to trade him. Something. Is this a little different with Brandon? That it's still kind of on the table?
I'm getting mature, I think, as I get older. Everything's always on the table. I think that's a better answer for me. It doesn't seem that likely, to be honest, but I'm still on the table. If someone offers Jed and John some good stuff for me, I'm going to be out of here, I'm sure. So it's, no.
Yeah, I'm quick to go.
Effect of knowing you have these two receivers, or could be very, if you sign Brandon, it could be very expensive. If you
all that comes into play. But I think the hardest thing when guys look at needs and stuff and rosters, especially when it's a position that's not quarterback, where lots of guys play and you have different personnel packages, like needs aren't always so obvious just that year. They can become a lot bigger in the second year. They can be bigger in the first year. You never know how someone's going to play out. So that need can be extremely important right now, or come training camp. But you also know we have to get some draft picks in here of some younger guys that are for sure going to contribute just as these years go. And especially with Brock and things like that. And so all that plays into it. That's why it's not like you go in and say, hey, we need one now because of A, B, and C. There's like 4 positions we're really interested in being the right pick at 31. And we have arguments for every single one, and it changes each day because they all do make sense. And then when it gets to there, you got to take the one that makes the most sense. And that's just not as simple as what's totally obvious right now. It's kind of over a 3-year window, over a 4-year window, and when it comes to a first-round pick and a 5th-year option, it becomes over a 5-year window. And what that can do for a roster from a salary cap standpoint, from personnel to how you package these guys, 2 wideouts, 1 wideout, 3, some go 4 on the field at once, and then especially you take it as a punt returner who we lost. There's just a lot of factors that go in that aren't just as obvious as it is when you just look at a need for that day.
You guys have said can't close the door on a trade for Aiyuk. Is that the same for Debo?
What? We didn't close the door. Like I said, we don't close the door on anything. I think that's what I said. Did you change my words? All right. Probably. All right.
Kyle, Brock and Ricky played high school pretty close by. Is there familiarity there, any relationship, any knowledge of one another?
I'm not sure. We didn't ask him.
We didn't talk.
We want to tip our hand. Thought Brock might tell one of you guys, so. No, we didn't ask him.
Texted you, or did he text Kyle with a flyer?
I think it was John.
Yeah, he texted me on the way in here. Yeah.
Is that nice to get?
Yeah. I mean, BA, we have a tremendous relationship, and
It's a group text.
it's group text, both of us. Okay.
Good clarification.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't lie, part of the text.
I think it's just how people younger than you talk. Fire
Yeah.
pick.
Fire pick,
No
can't
lie.
lie.
Like,
Next one's from Herm. That's a great pick. He won't let you down. So you want to keep going with text?
words.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
No punctuation.